Galbrena is going to be absolutely peak, and today I aim to tell you why. My name is Juice, and let's get into it. Okay, this drip marketing looks really good. If there's anything that I want to start off with in regards to her reveal, is the fact that the art itself is very exciting. Me and my best friend have honestly been talking a lot about this character. We've actually been wondering if she's inspired by Nero from DMC5. If that's the case, that would be absolutely awesome. We just think these wings of hers kind of remind us of Nero's Devil Trigger. Does anyone else see it? But either way, I should also add actually, I wouldn't put it past the Kuro Games developers to do that, because they did have a DMC collab in PGR, and PGR has a lot of DMC inspiration, so I wouldn't actually put it past Kuro to do so, especially because Nero wasn't in that collab. And also, for anybody that plays in JP, I usually just switch between JP and English voiceovers for wuwa, but recently I've been playing in more JP because I got into playing Colcharo. Yes, I know, bricks, but I managed to clear 2-1 with Changli, Colcharo, Quick Swap, okay, I'm getting somewhere. But anyways, his JP VA also voices Dante from DMC, which I think is really cool. I mean, I play DMC in English, but I still think it's cool. So, naturally, I already think this character is really cool just based on that alone. Even if it's not the inspiration, it's just what it reminded us of. So, I really like her. She already looks super cool. Design-wise, this is a character where, when she was initially revealed, I thought it looked good, like I really liked it, but I didn't think more of it. This has really grown on me over time. I think that design-wise, she just looks really cool. Like, this is just pure aura farming. There's nothing that I don't like here. She's awesome, and I really, really like her hair. That's also a really big part of it. Because in her initial drip marketing, it's a little hard to see in this particular drip market, but in her first one, whenever all of the new batch of characters were revealed, it kind of looked like she had a feather hanging from her hair, and I really liked that. And it would also make sense because she has big wings. Maybe that's why we can't see it, because it turns into these wings. One is literally made of fire, and the other one is a big dark wing. Like, it's so edgy, but I love it. It's so cool. There's also that goat head. I'm pretty sure it's like a goat or a ram or something of that sort. Not sure what that is, but it's probably going to be a part of her kit. I mean, think about it. Lupa also had those big wolf heads in her drip marketing, and that did end up being in her kit. There was also the griffin in Augusta's drip marketing, and that also ended up being in her kit. So that's also going to be a part of Galbrena's kit. Now, something that's very upsetting, I actually really like this character. Like, I think she looks fantastic. I'm really into this. But because she was dripped first, and we have seen no sign of Choyuen's drip yet, that means I'm gonna have to skip her for Choyuen, and that sucks. I'm gonna have to get her on a rerun. I really do like her, though. She's awesome. Now, I managed to skip Augusta. I didn't pull for her in the end, and I've still got all those savings for Choyuen, which is awesome. But having to skip Galbrena is sad, because this is such a cool character. I genuinely can't wait to see how Kuro is going to cook with her animations. You just know that she is going to be super cool in combat. And also, for the drip marketing itself, just from an artistic perspective, dude, holy color theory, this looks amazing. I really like all the color contrast. It's so harsh, but that is exactly why it works. It looks really, really cool. I would say my favorite drip marketing right now, probably Cantarella's and Augusta's. I think those both look really good. But this, yeah, this is joining those. This is another one of those drip markets where I'm just like, from an artistic perspective, this just looks, it looks like something else, man. So honestly, I already think this unit is peak. I think she's honestly one of the best looking units in this game just based on this alone. Spoilers for the end of the 2.6 quest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So we did get to see a little sneak peek of her 3D model. We did get to see a little bit of what she looks like in-game, but not for long. And that model looks really good. We got a close-up on the little snake belt thing, and oh boy, I just can't wait to see what she is up to. She genuinely just looks so good. In terms of how powerful she's gonna be, or what exactly she's going to do, I mean, this is a bit of a basic guess, but there's literally a bunch of fire around her, so I would guess fusion, but considering Augusta and how that went out, Kuro's gonna find some way to make her an element that literally none of us expected and have a surprisingly good justification for it, because for those of you who still don't know yet, Augusta being Electro did make sense, because she uses plasma. It's not that she uses fire, she just uses a certain color of plasma. There is some scientific explanation that I saw behind this once, but I didn't remember it. But either way, I thought that was really cool because it meant that her kit was overall very well researched, but we're getting off topic here. We're talking about Galbrena today. So, all things considered, I just think this unit looks fantastic. There is just a lot to love here. I do think that a lot of people are looking forward to her too. She kind of checks all the boxes. She's an aura farmer, she's going to be a great waifu for the waifu collectors, and I am sure that she's going to have absolutely sick gameplay. Like, that is one thing I'm very curious about, because even if I'm not getting her on this run, because we still have Choyuan and Chisa to go, I am very much getting her on a rerun. She looks fantastic, just based on this alone. And I also have to say, the quality of a 2D art in this game has constantly been going up. I do think that in Wuthering Waves' case, the 3D is just always destined to look better than the 2D, simply because the models are so detailed. You always get an upgrade compared to what you're shown in the drips. However, you can actually see the improvement yourself. If you go in-game and you check the icons area where you can swap your icon out for whatever characters you've obtained, have a look at some of the newer ones and compare them to the older ones. They genuinely have improved their art. That is something that has happened. They genuinely have just gotten better at marketing these characters and drawing them in 2D, which, I don't know, I just personally think that's a cool detail. Nice to see them improving behind the scenes. But in any case, I'm just still out here staying strong for Choyuan. I really, really like the look of Galbrena though. I'm still going to be very excited about her and watching her closely. I do still want to see her animations. I still want to, see what she does in the story. I do still think that she's going to be very interesting, and I can't wait to get her on a rerun. Hopefully she doesn't take too long to rerun. That will be a bit of a disaster. But I do really, really like what they've got going here. There's genuinely nothing that I really dislike, to be honest. Obviously, characters are subjective, and what you think of their designs is also subjective, so perhaps there's something here that you see that you don't really like, that I just don't really see right now, that I don't really mind. But at least from my perspective, what I'm seeing here is a character that just looks really sick, and yeah, she just looks really cool. I'm just very pleased about this. She looks awesome. Her initial drip was already promising, but I have to say this is a much more flattering angle for her, and it checks out. Considering I already liked what I saw before, giving her this excellent drip only makes it better. I am curious as to how well she's going to do. I think she'll be relatively popular, considering that, hey, she's really cool, and I think that a lot of people are looking forward to her. However, if she isn't ever main DPS, we did just get Augusta, who was very strong, but it is pretty normal for Kuro to release at least one main DPS every patch. Think about it. Genuinely, think back to the start of 2.x, and let's go from there. We got Carlotta in 2.x, there was Phoebe in 2.1, there was also Brandt, but I consider him to be more of a second Sol teammate, but if you want, you can also consider him to be a DPS, but I'm not going to. 2.2, okay, fine, we didn't get a new DPS. 2.3, we got Zani. 2.4, we got Cardathea. 2.5, we got Frolova. And then 2.6, we got Augusta. So every patch since 2.x at least, we've been getting a new DPS every patch, barring the one patch where we only got a support. Since Galbrena was dripped first, and we can probably expect Choyuan or Chisa to be dripped tomorrow, I think it's likely that she's going to end up being the main DPS since she was dripped first. That means that she's likely going to be first half, since she's the first one that Kuro wants to drum up some hype for, and I think that would make sense. I mean, I think she'll be an absolutely sick main DPS, I'll say that now. I cannot wait. She's gonna look really good. If she's popular, then I 100% understand the popularity in this case. She looks amazing. I think out of the current cast of characters, the current batch, it started with Frolova, but we already knew about her for ages, so we'll say it started with Augusta, and then there's her, and then we got Choyuan and Chisa. I think Galbrena is probably like the second best looking out of all of them. Like, Choyuan's on top for me, but I really, really do like this character. She looks sick. I have very positive opinions about her. I can literally only imagine what her gameplay is going to be, and if the DMC inspiration does hold true, let me tell you, we are in for a genuine treat. Like, this is going to be a really cool main DPS. If you're somebody that has a lot of Astrites on their hands, and you are either saving up for this character, or maybe you're just wondering who to pull for, I don't think this is going to be a bad choice at all. I think 2.7 is very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it and seeing what it has to offer. I'm not sure who's coming tomorrow. We still have to get one more drip market. Could be someone completely different, or it could just be Choyuan or Chisa, likely one of those two, since wuwa usually likes to announce their characters in batches ahead of time. That's actually something I've noticed, and it keeps in line with their 6-month cycles. So, to my fellow Choyuan fans, maybe we'll finally not be starving soon, and to any Chisa fans, because I know that there's a lot of those, you'll also not be starving soon. But for now, it is Galbrena's time to shine, and boy is she one radiant star. Now, with that being said, I do actually wonder if Chisa is going to be more popular because I feel like that's the main one that a lot of people are waiting for right now. But we'll see. I do think Galbrena has a lot of potential. Just wait until the animations, man, because Kuro always cooks with those. And I can't wait to see her combat. I really couldn't predict what she's going to play like, but I'll say this. I really do wonder if she's going to have flying abilities that are separate from the game's inbuilt flying abilities. I know some people wouldn't really be a fan of that because it would be character-gated exploration, and that's totally fair. I'm just curious about it. Will be interesting. Kind of something like what Phoebe has, where maybe she can do wing flaps or something like that. I'm just curious if she's going to have anything like that. But man, that fire wing... God, what is this going to be? Also, I want to point out, you can see some eyes in the fire, some pink eyes. So, very excited for her. How about yourself? Do you think she's going to be cool, or is it a skip for you? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hopefully this video is able to tell you why Galbrena is going to be peak. This has been Juice, signing out, and man, although she's really cool, I am dying to hear any news on Choyuan.